The Golden Globes red carpet is where fashion dreams are made or completely destroyed. While some stars served jaw-dropping glamour, others delivered looks that left us stunned for all the wrong reasons. From confusing silhouettes to bold risks gone wrong. These outfits didn't whisper fashion mistakes. They screamed them. Get ready. Because this is where style takes a spectacular tumble.
Our gorgeous Cynthia.
It hit the red carpet with the confidence of a grand finale, only to leave everyone quietly asking, wait, what just happened? Cynthia Erivo arrived in a multi-layered Louis Vuitton gown that made a bold first impression and an even bolder demand for attention. From the very top, the look promised drama, authority, and fashion-forward ambition. This was not a dress for blending in. It came to dominate the frame.
What it means with this particular project.
The upper portion carried intensity, strong lines, a plunging neckline, and a structured presence that framed Cynthia's power and individuality beautifully. It felt intentional, almost architectural, like the opening act of a fashion manifesto. You could see the confidence, the poise, the message forming. But then the eye moved downward, and the narrative shifted. The lower half ballooned into layers that felt softer, fuller, and oddly disconnected. Instead of continuing the same story, the skirt seemed to wander off into a different genre entirely. Where the top was sharp and commanding, the bottom felt romantic and theatrical, as if two designers had worked on separate dresses and never compared notes. Cynthia carried it with strength, but even her star power couldn't fully bridge the gap. The issue wasn't creativity or courage, it was cohesion. The dress didn't evolve, it divided. And that disconnect diluted what could have been a truly iconic moment. Fashion thrives on risk, but risk needs direction. Cynthia Erivo reminded us that bold ideas shine brightest when every layer speaks the same language and when they don't. Even brilliance can lose its impact. It froze the red carpet in disbelief because no one expects an actual ballerina to pirouette into the Golden Globes. Lara Flynn Boyle didn't just reference ballet in 2003. She committed to it fully, toe shoes and all. As if she'd missed rehearsal at the theater and accidentally wandered into Hollywood's biggest fashion stage. This wasn't inspired by dance. This was dance, dropped into the wrong room. At first, the look felt almost poetic. Delicate lines, soft textures, and that unmistakable ballet silhouette carried a sense of discipline and fragility. There was grace in the posture, intention in the styling, and a quiet confidence in how she wore it. You could tell this choice meant something art over trend, concept over convention. But the longer the cameras rolled, the clearer the disconnect became. The Golden Globes red carpet isn't a stage, it's a spotlight. And ballot, by nature, is meant to move, not pose. The point shoes grounded the look in performance rather than fashion, turning what could have been an elegant nod into a literal costume moment. Instead of translating art into couture, the outfit stayed trapped in rehearsal mode. Lara didn't lack courage. She lacked context. The idea was strong, but the execution forgot where it was. Fashion thrives when inspiration is reimagined, not reenacted. Bold vision deserves applause. But fashion is about transformation. When concept outweighs adaptation, the result doesn't feel avant-garde, it feels misplaced. Lara Flynn Boyle reminded us that even beautiful art can stumble when it refuses to evolve.
One of my most treasured possessions.
It didn't sparkle. It didn't flow. And it definitely didn't flirt with glamour instead. It marched onto the red carpet like a fashion manifesto, written in all caps. Glenn Close arrived, making a statement so serious, so sealed off, that elegance barely got a word in. From the first glance, you could tell this look wasn't here to charm. It was here to confront. The dress, covered head to toe in text, felt more like a wearable billboard than an evening gown. The fabric wrapped her completely, even extending to the hands, eliminating any sense of softness or movement. You didn't wear this dress, you inhabited it. The eye searched for a focal point, a break, a breath, and found none. The only readable word, Perry, hovered like a cryptic clue, daring viewers to assign meaning where warmth was clearly not invited. What made the moment fascinating wasn't failure, it was intention. Glenn Close is a master of presence, and she leaned into an avant-garde vision that rejected traditional red carpet expectations entirely. But intention doesn't always translate to impact. Instead of feeling bold and intellectual, the look landed cold, rigid, and oddly inaccessible. Fashion became armor, not expression. And that's where the final realization settled in. This wasn't about beauty or risk, it was about distance. Fashion can be powerful without being pretty. But when concept overwhelms connection, the message gets lost. Glenn Close reminded us that the strongest statements don't just demand attention, they invite understanding. It landed on the red carpet like a calendar error because this looked less like awards night and more like casual Friday. Wrong building. Kathryn Hahn stepped out with an air of comfort-first confidence that instantly confused the cameras. No drama, no sparkle, no fantasy, just a black blouse and a mustard skirt calmly existing while Hollywood screamed around her. The shock wasn't loud, it was baffling.
Well, you always bring a bag of nuts for a little bit of protein.
At first, you try to rationalize it. Maybe it's minimalist chic. Maybe it's anti-glam rebellion. Maybe it's a clever subversion of red carpet expectations. But the longer you look, the clearer it becomes. This outfit wasn't challenging. The rules, it forgot them. The silhouette felt unfinished. The color pairing lacked intention. And the overall styling suggested a day meeting schedule, not a night of trophies and flashbulbs. Kathryn herself looked relaxed, authentic, and unapologetically comfortable. And that's admirable. But red carpet fashion isn't just about being yourself. It's about elevating yourself for the moment. This look didn't rise to the occasion. It blended into the background when it needed to perform. Comfort won, but spectacle never even showed up. And that's the final truth of it. This wasn't a bold miss or a risky fail, it was a quiet absence. Authenticity matters, but so does context. On a night built for magic, fashion still has to show up and participate. Enjoying these deep dives into iconic red carpet moments, hit subscribe for more fashion breakdowns, bold takes, and unforgettable style chaos. It splashed onto the red carpet like a fashion experiment that escaped the lab unfinished. Sarah Michelle Gellar arrived in 2012 wearing a blue and white gown that immediately raised eyebrows, not because it was daring, but because it looked suspiciously like a tie-dye test run that went off the rails. The impact hit fast, confusing, chaotic, and oddly mesmerizing in the way a stain can be when you're trying to figure out what caused it. At a distance, the dress almost promised elegance. The silhouette was classic, the length appropriate, the intent seemingly refined. But as soon as the camera zoomed in, the pattern took over. Swirls of blue bled into white with no clear rhythm, no focal point, no visual anchor. Instead of flowing, the colors wandered. Your eyes didn't glide, they searched. And searching is never what you want viewers doing on the red carpet. Sarah Michelle Gellar herself looked polished and composed, which only amplified the disconnect. Her hair and makeup suggested sophistication, while the dress told a completely different story, one that felt accidental rather than artistic. It wasn't playful enough to feel intentional, and not controlled enough to read couture. The result lived in that uncomfortable middle space where fashion asks you to trust the process, but forgets to show the plan. This look didn't fail because it lacked beauty, it failed because it lacked direction. Red carpet fashion isn't about convincing people something is intentional. It's about making them never question it in the first place. Leonie Benesch stepped onto the red carpet with a quiet confidence that suggested intention, not accident. The Chanel dress she chose nodded clearly to early 2000s fashion codes, familiar silhouettes, recognizable patterns. and a softness that felt nostalgic rather than daring. At first, it seemed harmless, safe, almost comforting, and on a night full of risks, that restraint felt deliberate. But as the cameras lingered, the look began to unravel. The print felt dated instead of timeless, landing squarely in mall-era memory rather than couture legacy. The silhouette lacked tension, structure, or surprise, causing the dress to sit passively instead of commanding space. Nothing was offensively wrong, but nothing was memorable either. And on a red carpet, indifference is often the harshest critique. What made this moment sting was the label. Chanel carries history, authority, and expectation. This look, however, felt like it borrowed the logo without carrying the weight of its legacy. Styling didn't elevate it, accessories didn't rescue it, and the overall presentation faded into the background as louder, sharper looks passed by. And then the realization hit at the very end. This wasn't a fashion failure, it was a fashion time capsule that never reopened. Elegance without evolution risks becoming invisible. So tell me, was this quiet sophistication or a missed couture moment? Leave your answer in the comments below. Julia Roberts walked onto the red carpet in 2019 with the confidence of someone who has absolutely nothing left to prove. And that confidence mattered because the outfit she chose was asking a lot from the audience. At first glance, it seemed elegant enough, neutral tones, refined tailoring, and that unmistakable Julia Roberts ease. It felt grown up, intentional, and quietly rebellious. The design played with a familiar dilemma gown or pants. Julia's answer was both. Draped fabric suggested classic red carpet formality, while structured pants underneath leaned sharply into modern practicality. On paper, it sounded clever, a fresh twist from a woman known for rewriting style rules. And for a moment, you almost bought into it. But the longer the look lingered on camera, the more unsettled it felt. The top half wanted drama and flow. The bottom half wanted structure and control. Instead of merging into a bold hybrid, the two elements hovered awkwardly between identities. It didn't feel intentionally disruptive. It felt undecided. Formal and casual kept tugging at each other, and neither one won. Julia carried it with charm, but charm can only smooth so much. The outfit never fully committed to its own idea, and that hesitation dulled its impact. It wasn't daring enough to redefine the red carpet, and not classic enough to honor it. And then the realization landed at the very end. This look didn't challenge tradition, it stalled between options. Innovation requires conviction. When fashion tries to please every direction at once, it risks losing the power to say anything at all. Nicole Kidman didn't walk onto the red carpet in 2004. She shimmered, jingled, and practically announced herself before anyone looked up. Draped in a dress covered head to toe in gold coin, like embellishments, she looked less like an actress attending an awards show and more like a glamorous treasure chest that had suddenly decided to go out for the evening. Every step caught the light. Every movement felt expensive, and subtlety was clearly not on the guest list. At first, the effect was undeniably striking. Gold from every angle, reflecting cameras like a disco ball dipped in luxury. The craftsmanship was intense, the commitment obvious. This was maximalism with confidence, and Nicole had the poise to carry it. But the longer the look stayed in frame, the heavier it began to feel, visually and conceptually. The constant sparkle never paused, never softened, never let the eye rest. Instead of elegance building over time, the dress hit full volume immediately and stayed there. The coin detailing, while impressive, overwhelmed her natural grace, turning movement into noise and glamour into excess. Rather than enhancing her presence, the dress competed with it, demanding attention at every second instead of sharing the spotlight. Spectacle can be powerful, but restraint is what makes it timeless. Nicole Kidman proved that luxury needs balance, because when everything shines at once, even gold can start to feel heavy. Gwyneth Paltrow stepped onto the Golden Globes red carpet in 2000, looking like a walking contradiction, and that tension became the entire story. The look tried to live in two fashion worlds at once. On one side, clean lines and minimalist calm. On the other, glossy, glamorous accents desperate to steal the spotlight. It wasn't subtle irony. It was a tug-of-war happening in real time. The minimalist base felt effortless, restrained, and very on-brand for Gwyneth's cool, wellness-forward image. It suggested confidence through simplicity, the kind that doesn't need embellishment to feel important. But then came the glamorous details, shiny, attention-seeking, and oddly insistent. Instead of elevating the look, they disrupted it, like loud jewelry crashing a silent retreat. What made the moment uncomfortable wasn't that the pieces were bad. Individually, they worked. Together, they refused to cooperate. The outfit never settled into a clear identity. Was it understated elegance or red carpet drama? It tried to be both and ended up diluting each side. The result felt unfinished, as if the styling decision was made halfway out the door. Gwyneth wore it with composure, but even her calm confidence couldn't fully smooth over the disconnect. Fashion rewards commitment, and this look hesitated. Balance is everything. When contrast lacks intention, style loses clarity, and clarity is what turns outfits into moments. Enjoy these red carpet deep dives. Subscribe to the channel for more iconic fashion hits. Mies, and everything in between. It stormed onto the red carpet like a fashion identity crisis wrapped in confidence. Sharon Stone arrived at the Golden Globes in 2003 wearing a look that felt part dominatrix, part deconstructed couture, and entirely uninterested in playing it safe. From the very first glance, the outfit demanded attention, not admiration. Leather energy clashed with shredded elegance, as if power dressing and high fashion had entered a messy breakup in public. The top half leaned aggressive, sharp, and commanding. Strong lines, dark tones, and a confrontational attitude that felt more runway rebellion than awards night glamour. Then, your eyes moved downward, and the story shifted again. Torn textures, unexpected cuts, and fabric that looked intentionally distressed created a visual contradiction. Was this couture? Was this performance art? Was this a statement about control versus chaos? The dress didn't explain it, challenged. To Sharon's credit, she wore it like armor. Her posture was fearless, her expression unbothered. She wasn't asking for approval, she was daring the room to keep up. But fashion still needs coherence, and this look struggled to land its message. Instead of blending strength with sophistication, it veered into confusion. The drama was undeniable, but the elegance never fully arrived. And that's where the moment ultimately settled. Confidence can amplify a bold idea, but it can't replace clarity. Sharon Stone proved that provocation has power but without balance. It risks becoming noise instead of impact. It didn't just stop the red carpet, it completely reset the standard. Zendaya arrived like pure cinematic sunlight, and suddenly everyone else felt underdressed. From the first flash of cameras, it was clear this wasn't just a great outfit. It was a moment. The color alone, bold, glowing, unapologetically radiant, made the entire carpet look dull by comparison. This was not fashion trying hard. This was fashion landing perfectly. The silhouette was classic Hollywood, with a modern edge, strapless, fluid, powerful, and confident. Every line worked with her, not against her. The fabric moved like it knew its job. The train followed with intention, and nothing felt forced or overstyled. Zendaya didn't wear the dress followed her lead. That kind of harmony is rare, especially on a night full of risks and misfires. What truly elevated the look was restraint. No unnecessary distractions, no competing accessories, no styling noise. Just one clear vision executed flawlessly, while others experimented, clashed, or overthought. Zendaya committed to elegance and trusted it, and it paid off. This was old Hollywood glamour without nostalgia, modern without trying too hard, iconic without screaming for attention. Then the realization hit immediately. This is what happens when confidence, styling, and vision align. Zendaya didn't just win Best Dressed, she reminded everyone that true fashion power comes from clarity, confidence, and knowing exactly who you are. Love these red carpet breakdowns. Support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and staying tuned for more iconic fashion moments hits, Mises, and everything in between.
Let's help you up. Look at you.
It felt like a fairy tale, paused mid-scene, and somehow still stole the spotlight. Selena Gomez didn't even need the main red carpet to make noise. Her appearance arrived softer, quieter, and unexpectedly powerful. While others went big and loud, Selena chose calm elegance, stepping into the night like a modern Cinderella who knew the glass slipper didn't need to sparkle to be noticed. And that contrast, it worked. The pastel Prada gown carried a gentle romance, clean lines, and a sense of intentional simplicity. Nothing screamed for attention, yet everything felt considered. The color was delicate but not dull, classic without being dated. Instead of overwhelming the moment, the dress allowed Selena herself to lead her posture, her confidence to her ease. It was understated in a room obsessed with excess, and that made it stand out even more. What truly elevated the look was timing and context. Fresh off her engagement, standing beside Benny Blanco, the styling felt personal rather than performative. This wasn't about trend chasing or shock value. It was about presence. In a sea of theatrical risks, Selena opted for emotional resonance, and that choice landed with quiet strength. And then the realization hit instantly. This wasn't a look designed to dominate headlines, it was designed to last. Selena Gomez proved that impact doesn't always come from volume. Sometimes, the most powerful fashion statement is knowing when to whisper instead of shout. It glided onto the red carpet like liquid moonlight and immediately reminded everyone what real star power looks like. Nicole Kidman arrived with that effortless authority only she possesses, wearing a silver gown that didn't beg for attention, yet somehow owned every camera in the room. The shimmer was controlled, the silhouette refined, and the overall effect quietly commanding. This wasn't a fashion stunt. This was elegance doing exactly what it's meant to do. The gown sparkled just enough to catch the light without overwhelming it. Clean lines framed her posture, and the metallic tone leaned into classic glamour rather than trend-driven flash. It felt grown, deliberate, and unmistakably Nicole. No chaos, no overthinking, just confidence wrapped in precision. And yet, there was a subtle tension. The color, while beautiful, didn't fully ignite against her complexion under the harsh lighting. Instead of popping, it softened. The look hovered on the edge between breathtaking and slightly muted. Like a masterpiece viewed through frosted glass, everything was technically right, but emotionally, it held back just a touch. Nicole carried it with grace. As always, she didn't rely on shock or excess. She trusted restraint, history, and presence. And that trust mostly paid off. Nicole Kidman didn't need to reinvent herself to make an impact. She reminded us that true icons don't chase moments, they refine them. Sometimes perfection isn't about standing out the loudest, but about standing firm in who you already are. It cut through the red carpet like a sharp inhale, unexpected, fearless, and impossible to ignore. Emma Stone arrived, not chasing trends, not pleasing expectations, but owning every inch of her individuality. From the first step, it was clear this wasn't about blending in or playing it safe. This was Emma doing what she does best, rewriting the rules with quiet confidence and a hint of rebellion. The look balanced structure and shine in a way that felt intentionally offbeat. A bold, eye-catching top brought the drama, while the tailored elements below grounded the outfit with strength and precision. It wasn't soft glamour or predictable elegance, it was controlled contrast. Every detail suggested choice, not accident. Emma didn't dress to be decorative, she dressed to be expressive. What truly elevated the moment was how naturally she wore it. The outfit never overwhelmed her, never wore her. Her posture, her ease, her unmistakable charisma tied everything together. Even when elements felt unconventional, they felt honest. This wasn't fashion trying to impress, it was personality translated into fabric. Emma Stone has always thrived in that space between classic and quirky, and this look honored that balance beautifully. It reminded Emma Stone's beauty lies in her courage to stay distinct. In a room full of spectacle, she proved that individuality worn with confidence isn't just fashionable, it's worthy of celebration. It radiated old Hollywood confidence with a modern glow, and the room instantly felt more elegant. Demi Moore didn't chase trends or shock value. She walked the red carpet like someone who understands the power of timeless glamour. From the first glance, the look communicated control, experience, and unmistakable star authority. This wasn't about competing with the night, it was about elevating it. The gown shimmered with a quiet luxury, catching the light in a way that felt refined rather than loud. The fabric moved fluidly, hugging just enough to highlight strength while still allowing softness and grace. Every detail felt intentional, polished, balanced, and beautifully restrained. Instead of overpowering her, the dress amplified Demi's presence, proving that confidence and craftsmanship are the ultimate accessories. What made the look truly stand out was its maturity. There was no desperation to appear youthful, no attempt to reinvent for headlines. Demi leaned into who she is, an icon with history, and the styling respected that. The silhouette honored her figure. The texture added depth, and the overall effect felt effortlessly expensive. This was glamour without gimmicks. In a night filled with risks, experiments, and occasional chaos, Demi Moore delivered clarity. She reminded everyone that fashion doesn't always need to scream to be heard. Demi Moore's look was a masterclass in elegance. It celebrated experience, confidence, and self-assurance, proving that true style doesn't age. It evolves. It shut the red carpet down instantly because when Angelina Jolie arrives, the room adjusts. No chaos, no desperation, just pure, controlled dominance. While others performed for attention, Angelina simply existed and let the spotlight come to her. That alone was the statement. Her metallic, fringed gown delivered strength with precision. The movement was sharp, the shine was deliberate, and nothing felt accidental. It wasn't about softness or fantasy, it was about authority. The dress didn't decorate her, it reinforced her presence. Every step felt intentional, like power translated into fabric. What made this moment special was restraint. No overstyling, no theatrics, no begging for applause. Angelina trusted herself, and the look followed her lead. Angelina Jolie's beauty is individuality at its peak, calm, fearless, and unapologetically her. That kind of confidence doesn't trend, it endures. So, there you have it at the Golden Globes. Fashion glory and fashion chaos walk the same red carpet. Some stars shined effortlessly. Others leaned hard into bold personality, with very mixed results. And then there were the looks that sparked debates, memes, and collective confusion. Whether unforgettable for brilliance or remembered for failure, one thing is clear at the Globes. Playing it safe is boring, but taking risks can be dangerous. And honestly, That's why we keep watching.